Hey, Matthew, whichever you prefer. So I'm going to attempt to be eloquent, as eloquent as you are. As my buddy. I don't know her name. I think this might be Graffiti. We just got 3 kitties last week, so this is one of them. She's really sweet. So I am reviewing your response to David's response, or David's Integral 2.0 video. And the first comment I have, I don't know why you felt that he was, or did you feel that he was intentionally triggering you specifically? I think you say that you felt triggered by it, and you put a you in there somewhere to say that, or that he, trying to express that he tried to trigger you. Although I didn't hear a satisfactory explanation for why that is. I do, however, agree with your sentiment that idealism and realism are not mutually exclusive, and in so doing, we are trying to understand the order that is within the apparent chaos. And I do think that the chaos is in appearance only. It's not an essential part of the universe, but it is an essential part of nature. And this has been explained very well in the story of the demiurge, or the Yaldabaoth in Gnostic scripture. I want to say it's found in the Robe of Glory, but I'm not sure. But anyways, it's the story of Gnosticism, where Sophia has a child that has never existed within heaven, and yet has a genetic code that is programmed to generate a kind of heaven in this worldly plane. Now these are all, I'm using, I'm extrapolating and interpreting, because the description is more like, there was a pillar of light, and it fell in love with itself. It almost has a narcissist resemblance, where this mind that became of the pillar, so even if you think about it as in Pythagoras's tetractys, I think is how you'd say it, where it's a triangle and the peak at the top is 1 dot, so that's 1 dimension, then 2 dimensions, then 3 dimensions, then 4. So from a dot to a line, where that dot came from in space is a little difficult for me to wrap my head around, although the story makes a lot of sense to me. So in taking that a step further, the organization of matter into form is the appearance, is the Maya in Buddhism, and the Lila, the play, is our consciousness of the structure that is not, again, essential, but, well, the structure is essential to matter, and yet the specific structures, or the specific forms, are not. And that is evident by the fact that everything changes, and that's why the grasping or identifying at those forms is the cause of suffering. And so with Sophia having this child out of heaven, the child's name was Yaldabaoth, she called it Samael, became the demiurge, which was Zeus and Yahweh, depending on who you talk to, right? But in a mystical explanation, I'm not sure if Kabbalah uses the word demiurge to talk about Yahweh, but it'd be interesting to look into, because I think that there's definitely some merit to that. And so Yahweh, Zeus, and the demiurge are all responsible for the creators, not the ultimate creator, not the creator of the universe, but the creator of this world, the creator of the Matrix, the creator of, again, the Maya. And that is the world that we are born into. And that is the world we have to fight through in order to achieve a sense of idealism that isn't absurdist. And I think David would disagree with you that he's dismissing idealism. I think that he would say that it must be poetic interpretation, though. And I disagree with that. I think that, well, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with the emphasis that he places on the poetic. He would say he places a great emphasis on the poetic and the mystical and the archetypal. And yet, I don't think he places enough. I think that he, when it comes down to it, he is looking for a more practical plan of action, a more practical way of explaining the structure of reality. And I don't think he's done a very good job at that. I think the way that his brain works is very structured. And I think that that produces great benefits. I think that he is right in as far as he can perceive reality. But I think that because of the way that his brain is structured, in the way that he sees the world, that he is only able to view the patterns that fall under idealism very, very roughly, in a rendered way, in a way that if you took a three-dimensional object and reduced it to a two-dimensional drawing, or we can, I'm sure there's a better example with like computer graphics or something where it looks sort of pixelated, where it's not as precise or clear as it as I think that you and I are seeing it. So I'm going to pause here. It's already been 9 minutes almost. So and I'm going to see where this goes. Only a minute and a half into your video so far.